Hi, Trygve.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fine, fine. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations on making it this far. Top
Thank
60
you.
Electrons 2024. Hooray!
It's an honor.
Okay. So as you can see, we have a full room here with utility partners, very eager to learn a bit more about your solution. It's a 6-minute pitch followed by a brief Q&A. So whenever you're ready,
Sure.
please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Trygve Mongstad. I'm the CEO and founder of Over Easy Solar, and we're revolutionizing how solar installations are built on flat rooftops. Flat rooftops is a great resource. We have a lot of these dead areas in urban spaces around the world. And I think in the energy transition, it's so important that we utilize these spaces at the maximum. Of course, we can build solar installations on them, and we can also utilize these surfaces to build green rooftops, handling water, reducing the urban heat island effect and bringing more biodiversity into the cities. However, the case is that most of these rooftops are still being left empty, and this is what we are working with. I have been working for several years in the flat rooftop solar industry, working with conventional products. And the conventional products are organized around the historical format of the solar panel, which has been decided by the solar manufacturing industry concerning cost and efficiency, but not taking into consideration the actual needs of the installer or the rooftop or the owner of the building. So we're challenging this by introducing a prefabricated product that has been made possible by using bifacial solar cells that have now come to market and are competitive and are mainstream in the solar cell industry already today. So we have developed the prefabricated VPV unit, vertical photovoltaics. It's a completely prefabricated unit consisting of 4 solar panels on one unit. It's the fastest product that you can mount on any kind of flat rooftop, and it also goes perfectly with these green rooftops that you can see here in the background that I mentioned in the beginning. There is no other product for flat rooftops that can be mounted at the same speed. It just clicks into these feet that you can see on the rooftop here, and plug and play and ready to go. Let's see. Yeah, and it also, in addition to being easy and fast to mount, provides value for the building owners. So the energy itself, because it can be produced more in the morning, in the evening, and in the winter time, can have a higher value. It can also give a higher yield per kilowatt peak installed, especially in northern areas. It's also a very maintenance-friendly system because you can always have access to the rooftop. You can do inspection, you can do local repairs by removing a single unit or moving away the whole installation and remembraning the rooftop. It has a very low weight, which is a very important property of the product because of the vertical solar panels. It does not generate any lift forces, and it therefore does not need any ballast or intrusive fasteners on the rooftop. Then to the utilities. This is the start of the future. This is a week during the summer in Germany last year. The green represents the renewable energy capacity produced every day, and the gray is the fossil. And you see that in the middle of the day, the solar is peaking in the grid. There's a lot of solar energy in the grid, and you get these dips in the power price, which is in red and yellow on this curve. And it goes actually down to 0 or negative on a few days this week. And this will become more and more normal. Actually, it's going to drop to 0 most of the days during the summertime. Here you can see what is the difference between vertical bifacial east-west facing solar panels and a conventional solution for flat rooftop mounting. So the conventional is producing energy mostly in the middle of the day when the power prices are going to 0, while the vertical bifacial are producing outside of the peak hours, which is of course good for the value of the owners of the solar installation, but it's also interesting for the utilities, so you don't get this congestions and overloading with solar energy in the middle of the day from the conventional solution. We're currently at TRL 7 to 8. We've been through a couple of years of piloting and learning from our product in different climates and with different versions of the product, upgrading it every time. Our startup is now 3 years old and we have launched on the market. So we have currently 21 installed projects in different locations in Europe, covering 7 different countries, and an accumulated sales of about 800,000 euros so far. Then to the pilot that we can propose in this pre-Electrons program. These are just some examples. We're just at the idea stage here. But we, as a startup, are now at the stage where we can expand internationally, and we would be interested in having our first pilot in new regions. So here is an example from Montreal in Canada and one in Hong Kong from 2 of the utilities here. So these would be excellent rooftops for us to pilot our system in these new geographies, and would be the first vertical solar rooftop in Asia and America, according to what I know about the market, and I think I know most about it. It would have a cost of around 50,000 euros to 500,000 euros, depending on the size of the installation that you would like. And if you don't know so much about bifacial solar, vertical bifacial solar, I also recommend checking out this video by Matt Farrell. Have we been doing solar wrong all along? It's a good introduction to the topic. We're a team of 10. I'm running out of time, so jumping to the end. We're also seeking investments now, which could be relevant for you. We're raising 5 million euros this year, and we're just in the beginning of our commercial journey. So thank you very much for your attention, and hoping really to join the rest of the program, and looking forward to your questions.
Thank you, Trygve. So let's open up for Q&A with Jon.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much for the great presentation. Very clear. Daniel here from Jon. My first question would be, how do you compare to light and flexible PV panels?
Yeah, the flexible PV panels are also lightweight, so they can be used on also for rooftops that cannot take the weight of a conventional installation. However, I think there are several challenges concerned to durability and also maintenance. These panels are normally glued onto the rooftop and making the whole maintenance very difficult.
Durability, you say? How do you compare it against them? They give a 25-year linear warranty.
Yeah, we provide the standard warranties from the solar business: 25 years of energy production and 15 years of production quality. These are glass panels, which is very well protected against the environment. Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the panels that you're using, efficiency, and also how many watt peaks per square meter can you fit on the roof?
Yeah, we're using the most modern solar cells on the market, heterojunction solar cells because of the high bifaciality that we need. So we actually have close to 100%. We have 96% bifaciality in our panel, providing a very good energy yield. But we do have, when it comes to watts per square meter, it's lower than it is, of course, from covering the solar or the rooftop completely with flat solar panels. So we're about currently around 83. We'll be between 90 to 100 watts per square meter in the next generation of our product.
Where do you source the prefabricated modules?
This is our IP. Our product is designed by us, but we outsource the manufacturing as you ask for. So we do solar panel manufacturing in China, and we do the structural rail or the steel part of the construction in Spain, and also the final assembly, we do it in Spain.
Okay. And what is your strategy for scaling up?
Well, we're currently aiming for mainly the Northern European markets and targeting green rooftops as our primary market. But we receive a lot of attention and interest from especially Northern America as well and other regions. So we're also now looking for investors who can join on this journey to introduce the product in these new markets.
Okay. What is the projected production capacity in the next years?
We could fast within months scale up to around 10 megawatt peak per year, or up to 15 probably. The further scale up, I think we can reach 100 megawatt per year if we want to in about a year from now.
Okay, good. So what does that do to your hot peak prices? So what are they today, and what are they going to be in the future?
Yeah, we normally don't share the prices or costs at this stage to such a big forum, but I would be more than happy to jump into a direct conversation about that.
Okay, I'll follow up on that one then. Thank you very much. I'll open up the room then.
Any other questions? In the room?
Yeah, Conor O'Brien here from ESB in Ireland. How do you deal with roof furniture?
With roof?
Roof furniture. So in other words, items that are already on the roof. Does your structure, how does your standardized structure? So how does that work in terms of dealing with stuff that's already on the roof?
Well, yeah, it goes on the flat parts without obstructions on the rooftop generally, but it can be mounted on basically any kind of flat rooftops surface, whether it's bitumen or green roofs or polymer roofs. So yeah, any roofing material is possible. But of course, if there are antennas or pipes, that makes it more difficult to mount on top sometimes.
Any last questions?
How's the wind resistance? How do you anchor it?
These are anchored by their own weight and friction on the roof in most cases. Only in very extreme cases do we need fastening or ballast. And this has been first confirmed by simulations, in computer simulations by Fraunhofer EC in Germany, and later in wind tunnel tests by EFI Aachen, also in Germany. So the system is fully certified, and we do have a calculation tool that we use for every single project that we work on.
Thank you. So a big round of applause for Trygve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trygve. If you join my colleagues in the other room, they'll give you a few instructions on next steps.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
I think you need to stop sharing the screen in order to be able to the breakout room.
Now you have a button on your bottom right corner. I think he found it.
Okay, so up next we have Fabienne from Everyone Energy.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Hi, Fabienne.
Can you see me?
How are you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
Awesome. Very good indeed.
Wow, that's a crowded room you have there.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
So we have a lot of people here in the room, in both physically and online, very eager to learn a bit more about Everyone Energy's solution. So whenever you're ready, you can please share your screen.
Absolutely, thank you so much. I will share now and hope that everything goes as planned. Can you give me a quick nod if you can see my slides? Yeah? Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. You give the go, or do you just want me to
Whenever
start?
you're ready, we can
All right.
start.
Then let's go. Hello, everyone. We are Everyone Energy, and we automate the energy sector. As you all know, because you work in this field, the energy sector is highly regulated. It's a critical infrastructure, it's understandable, but this regulation also makes it very cumbersome to have processes here. And especially on the interface to non-energy people, so customers in the end, it's sometimes very hard to explain what you're doing because of all the regulation and bureaucratic processes. And that is something that is, we call that the UX valley of death for the energy transition. And it's a bottleneck in scaling up our processes and also the transition to renewable energies. And how this is managed so far by companies that install PV systems, for example, or that install battery systems or heat pumps, is that they actually take highly skilled people to take their end customers by the hand and guide them through this process. So there's always some kind of a back and forth in advising the people what's the right operating model for you. There are a lot of technical, economic, but also regulatory questions that need to be clarified. And that is something that takes time, and also with time comes money. And as we all know, there is a shortage in skilled experts. They are very expensive, and unfortunately, they don't grow on trees. And this is exactly where Everyone Energy comes in. We made it possible to make this expert knowledge that you need in order to take your customers by the hand and guide them through this whole process. We could automate that with our software solution. So what we actually do is we have a B2B2C solution. It's a white label product. So companies like utilities, like municipal utilities or big installers, they apply our software in order to advise their end customers and automatically scale up their sales process. And how that works is we have a white label app which comes in the design of our customers. And this white label app is the face to the customer, if you will. And it's a wolf in a sheep's costume because it is very user-friendly. So it doesn't bother you with a lot of questions that you as an end customer might find too cumbersome and might find too complicated, but it only asks you a couple of questions like a good person or energy advisor would do. And then we take this information into our backend, and this is where all the complexity now happens. And we take that, we draw that away from the end customer to speed up this process, and we do a full simulation of the energy system. We automatically, within milliseconds, gather data about their roof based on lasers, based on 3D building models. We pull irradiation data, wind speeds, temperatures, all the kind of data that you would need in order to do a full technical simulation. And then we do the simulation in different scenarios for all the different operating models that are out there. As you know, in Germany, it's very complicated. There are feed-in tariffs, there are own consumption, direct marketing, PPAs, you name it. There are a lot of different operating models, and they all come with different constraints, with different cash flows. And that is what we do in parallel in our assessment algorithm. And in the end customer, within a couple of minutes, gets a fully fledged report about their individual energy system, which is absolutely individualized. It also comes in the design of our customers, for example, in the Eon Red or you name it. And it actually brings the end customer into the situation that they can reach a decision about investing in a plant like this way easier and automate this process. And the best thing is, up until here, our clients invested exactly 0 seconds of time into that because we can do that 100% automated. So there's no need of interaction with the skilled expert with our software, but it's 100% automated. We started with this, I would say, initial phase of the lifetime of a renewable energy project, which is the consulting, qualification, and simulation. And we're now moving down the value chain of renewable projects. Next thing is that we build right now is a quotation tool, also going into the detailed technical planning. That's a bit down the road, but just to let you know where we are going and where we also see a lot of synergies with you. What's the next big thing on our roadmap? The next big thing will be our own AI that is able to also do the planning for vertical surfaces for PV installations, so that people can actually just upload a photo of their home, and we will fully automatically place modules there. We'll do a simulation and we'll do pretty much exactly the same, but for vertical surfaces, because that's, in our view, the next big thing. As module prices go down, there are more and more surfaces that are being utilized, and that's our next thing on the roadmap. Looking into our customers who already trust in us, as you can see, there are quite some renowned and big customers here. That's my clock up there. Sorry, I didn't see that. Are the 6 minutes over already?
Yes.
All right. Sorry
Let's
about
wrap
that.
up.
Maybe just the last view onto our faces, who we are, and then I am super happy to talk to you about your questions.
Amazing. So let's open for Q&A.
Hi, Fabian. This is Samuel from Eon. Very good pitch and really exciting solution. Probably you would have spoken about that. What would be the ideal pilot scenario or test scenario? So how could we test your solution in an easy way?
So ideally, we would be able to communicate directly with your business unit that is in charge of the installations for PV. We can do that for residential, but also for C&I customers, so commercial and industrial, because we cover all the different operating models. And an ideal pilot would be that you would bring us into contact with them, and we would implement our software for you guys to actually advise your end customers in a scalable way, and also to see how we can integrate our data sets that we produce into your systems, because you will definitely have some kind of CRM systems already in place. And for us, it's always super interesting to also find out where do we have the interfaces to the legacy systems of our customers, and where can we get the most value out of our solution. So that would be an ideal case for us.
All right, thank you. It seems like your solution is pretty much focused on the German market so far. How easy adaptable is a solution for other markets? Because Electrons obviously isn't very international global problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, you're absolutely right. Up until now, we only have German clients, but we built the software from the get-go so that we can relatively easy also go to other markets, because everything that we build, all the code is completely separated from the parameters. And as we come from a long legacy of working in the energy field, and especially in regulations, we have a very deep understanding how to break that down into the tiny building blocks, and we can pretty much take apart what we have and build it up again with different regulations. So a feed-in tariff in Germany might work something like a bit differently than in Denmark, but we could also do other parameters, other ancillary factors into the software, and then we could also go to other markets. And of course, we would need to translate the front end and what's happening there, but that's something we can easily manage. But from the get-go, it was designed to also go into international markets.
Yeah, perfect. Can you quickly elaborate on the business model? I understood you have a white label solution.
Yes.
How does it go?
Yes. So our business model is pretty much a standard software as a service model. So there always is a setup fee, which is a one-time fee, depending on how many things need to be adjusted. We have different tiers with different features that you can get. That's the one-time thing. Then there's a monthly license fee, and then there is a fee per report that is being generated. So those are the three pillars of our operating model, of our business model.
Okay, and do you see any challenges in terms of data availability in different regions for Germany or also other markets you might enter in the future?
Yeah, so basically our software is data provider agnostic. So we can work with different kinds of data. We can work with laser data. We can work with 3D point clouds. We can use pretty much everything. Germany is the hardest market because it's very fragmented. The rest of Europe is super well covered with data like this. And our providers already gave us the go that we can go pretty much everywhere in Europe. When we look at the rest of the world, we would have to look for different data providers, but that shouldn't be a big problem.
Hi, Fabian. This is Samuel from Eon as well. I have a question regarding your USB. What do you see regarding the competitors? What is your USB? As from my perspective in status quo right now, it seems like a better lead machine or something like that, and it's a more qualified lead in the status quo. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So I would say when we look at our competitive landscape, there are a lot of players in there, a lot of good software around, but we have three things that really set us apart. The one thing is that we have this deeply embedded knowledge about regulation and how that works. None other player in the field has that and can calculate all different operating models that are out there. That is one thing. Then the other thing is the level of automation, because most of our competitors need some kind of interaction of an expert with their software. When we look at Aurora or Rionic or players like this, you always need the professional to interact with it. Our software is 100% automated, so this report can be generated without the need to spend time from our client side. And the third thing is that the software itself, it goes very deep into also the technical simulation and also the economic simulation. And each and every calculation that happens within there can be set with different parameters so that we can actually really match how our customers, our clients, like, for example, in Eon, would actually do their job so that we can guarantee that the result that we produce in an automated way would be the same as this professional would generate with hours and hours of work they put in there. And that is something also our competitors don't have.
Thank you.
Any other question? If not, thank you much, Fabian. A big round of applause for everyone.
Thank you so much. And I look very much forward to hearing from you.
Cheers. So Diana and Francisco will be in the other room welcoming you back. You can debrief with them for a little bit and they'll give you some instructions.
Cool. Thank you so
Cheers.
much and have a
Bye.
great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
You need to
Fabian,
leave in the
you-
bottom.
Yeah, exactly. On the bottom right corner, you have a little button.
Leave room. Okay, sorry.
Exactly. No worries.
Sorry.
All right,
See
all
you.
right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
We already have Craig here.
Awesome. So up next we have friction flow. Craig will be presenting us. Hi, Craig.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Congratulations on being nominated as a top 60 startup of free Electrons. We're looking forward to listening a bit more about your solution. So whenever you're ready, 6 minutes pitch and followed by a brief Q&A.
Sure. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for allowing me to present to you today on my company and my products on friction flow measurement. My name is Craig Marshall. I've been working in the instrumentation and measurement industry for about 15 years now, specialising in research and development and product development and consultancy services. A few years ago, I created the company Friction Flow Measurement to provide innovative measurement solutions for very challenging flow and physical property solutions. And the way I do this is by incorporating my patented technology into hybrid flow meters, essentially taking various sensors, implementing them together or integrating them together to deliver something that is more than the sum of its parts. And the whole objective there is to reduce costs and infrastructure for industry to make measurements better and smarter. Today, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about one particular product or area I'm looking at, which is the measurement of hydrogen and natural gas blends. I see a great need there, and there's pilot plants going on all over the world looking at this exact topic. We know that hydrogen is being generated typically by industry and used within industry. Any excess can then be integrated or injected into a national transmission system to help decarbonise that energy network. But the trouble is that we end up with hydrogen having less energy density than natural gas. So although it's decarbonising the grid, we also end up with our measurement solutions providing by volume or mass that don't have an actual direct energy constituent, and it's a big problem when you've got hydrogen having less energy than natural gas itself. So gas mixture or the composition becomes a big problem, in particular dynamic measurement. Gas chromatographs are state of the art, they are accurate, but they're very costly. About £50,000 we've been told in terms of per unit cost, and they also can be classed as quite slow. The measurements are the magnitude of minutes rather than dynamically seconds, as would be needed for excessively changing and dynamic injection of hydrogen into a local system. How can we therefore attain faster and lower cost composition data for different streams? And this becomes much more apparent as you consider the number of injection points that are going to happen in some of these local pilot plants and throughout the distribution systems, and the cost saving that's going to be required for all of those plants. These pilot plants is a growing number, certainly all over the world, and some of your colleagues are sitting in the room today. There's a few of these plants already in existence. We're injecting hydrogen into natural gas streams, and we need to measure it accurately in order to make sure we've got that good, accurate measurement for control, safety, and for billing. In terms of how the friction flow meter would actually manifest itself, it could be a completely new installation where an engineered to order product is tuned to process conditions and just installed, typical of any other instrument that we find we are using. Additionally, it could be retrofitted into already existing infrastructure. So here's an example of an existing differential pressure system, an orifice plate or venturi, again typically used technology, or existing ultrasonic meter installation. We add in bits of technology to get our measurements and include it all into the friction flow meter computation, and it provides that hydrogen content that we're looking for the dynamic measurements. In terms of pilot projects, I actually already have a UK government grant for a project that I'm developing under the Analysis for Innovators programme, which will start on the 1st of May. And in that project, I'm looking at developing, with my partners, I'm looking at developing an equation of state for hydrogen blends, or improved equation of state, and also looking at that equation of state with the measurements I have in my friction flow meter of density and speed of sound, and using mathematical models to correlate that towards composition data of the mixture. I'll then flow test everything in an inert gas, which is nitrogen, to get that up to a technology readiness level of level 6, where it's proven in a laboratory style environment. I'm also in discussions with a UK utility company, National Gas, about using their future grid site in the north of England in Q4 of this year to actually take that prototype and test it up to 20% hydrogen, and that will get me a TRL up to level 8 in a relevant industrial environment. In terms of utility companies in the free electron pilot, what I'd be looking for is something that's a complementary scope to what I've just described in the A4I project, or potentially we could increase the scope of that project to include much further details in terms of equations of state or specific meter sizes. And additionally, there is another project that I've got in mind, another idea for a new technology involving IR spectroscopy and a brand new fast Fourier transfer system. That would be proof of concept, but it's looking at developing online real-time composition data of gas mixture streams. I don't want you to pay too much attention to the table in the background, but I just wanted to point out, in terms of timescales and costs, I already have a project that's ready to go and will be starting in May. It's a roughly total of £120,000. All work packages are programmed out. My costs are just about half of that. In terms of free electrons, I would potentially, how this could operate would be a contribution to those costs, or as I've said, increasing the scope of some of the project work we've been looking at, and then potentially moving to field trials as well. Additionally, that spectroscopy project looking to proof of concept for all complete by the end of this year. In terms of the company impacts, for me, development of a verified hazardous area solution is one of the ideal objectives. It gets me to the next stage and where I want to go with my company. And in terms of industrial use, replacing gas chromatographs could potentially save £50,000 per unit, plus the operational costs that go alongside that. Accurate, fast and reliable hydrogen content for safety, control and billing is of paramount importance. And if we can get that nailed down quickly, then I think that's best for everyone to help enable the energy transition. And of course, there's lots of other technologies that can use here. So in summary, I've just got some fair bullet points coming up that I've already covered, but as I see my kind of time running out here, I'll just kind of open the floor up to some questions, and hopefully we can have a good discussion. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Craig. So let's now open for Q&A.
Okay,
So-
thank you. Thank you, Greg, for the presentation. My name is Ivan from CLP team. So my question is, what exactly the accuracy that you expect from those coming pilot, especially on hydrogen gas?
Hydrogen content.
Yes, hydrogen content. What exactly do you expect?
So
The accuracy metric?
yeah, in terms of hydrogen content, I think we're not at the point of giving you a specific number on that yet, but certainly I would be hopeful for at least better than at least 0.5% of the actual absolute value of hydrogen. Now that's, for me, that's a kind of guess figure at the minute until I actually have some usable data that I can base my results on, if that makes sense. But my uncertainty in density calculation should be better than 0.7%.
Better than the existing solution, you mean?
No. So I don't think I'll get anywhere. Well, I don't think I'll be comparable to a state of a gas chromatograph system. So what my technology provides is the benefit is a real time measurement that will trend with the data, but it won't match the uncertainty associated with a real composition analysis system like a gas chromatograph.
Okay. Step back. Can you tell us more about your solution in terms of your hardware requirements? Do you have your own hardware, or you mentioned you rely on the third-party hardware to collect those data?
So all of the measurement devices that I use are commercially available off the shelf. So you use suppliers for the differential pressure hardware and pipework. I'll use major equipment suppliers for differential pressure measurements. I have my own supplier of ultrasonic transducers. The thing that sets the friction flow measurement solution apart is the computation side of things. It's the patents of the computation. So I have my own hardware in terms of how I implement the circuit boards and the software and the infrastructure of an electronics enclosure. Really, that's the kind of the new bit to what I bring to the table in terms of the measurement solution.
So when you mention about software, do you really have a software platform, back-end software platform to visualize this, continuously monitor the flow rate, etc.?
So it's in development. It's not ready to go as of today, but this is what this A4I project is looking to develop. My technology was originally developed for high viscosity liquids, and that software package is ready to go and operates. It's written on one of my software suppliers as a programmer has written it into a specific language that it operates on the hardware that I'm using. So I'll have no problem implementing the solution that I'll be developing into the same sort of package.
Okay. In terms of go-to-market, what do you intend your business model, service model, or selling the whole equipment and software?
A multitude. So I would intend to actually distribute a full meter package in my local market. I also think that there's a worldwide reach of this, where I have companies in different parts of the world who manufacture component parts of the friction flow meters. For instance, the metalwork, so the Venturis orifice plates with the pipe runs. If I can partner and collaborate with some of these companies around the world, all I would ship then would be the electronics head, and they could compile that all together, and then they've already got existing sales strategies, customer base, and so for going for a worldwide market, I think that would be the best method. So I can offer them myself, but also partnering and collaborating with existing companies that already have existing clients.
Any other questions in the room? So thank you very much, Greg. Thank you for joining us today. Big round of applause.
Really appreciate it. So thank you everyone for listening.
So Diana will welcome you back in the other side room and give you some instructions on next steps and when you can expect to also listen back from us.
Great.
Thank you, Craig, and have a good day.
Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Last of the group, let's welcome James from Jet Connectivity. Yeah? But these two startups are the ones suggested from Innovative Pay. Hi, James.
Hi there, how's everyone doing?
Hi, James. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Yourselves?
Yeah, very good. We have a room full of utility partners here. Some people joined online as well to check Jet Connectivity's pitch. So whenever you're ready.
Super. I'll share my screen if that's okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Super. So lovely to meet everyone. My name's James Thomas. I'm the CEO and founder of Jet Connectivity. We're building floating mobile phone networks and off-grid mobile phone networks for the energy sector. That underpins a safe, secure, sustainable, smart operation at sea. This started because I was a sailor and I was racing in a race called the Fastnet. People might not have heard of that because it's a UK event, but we were racing from the south of England to Ireland and back. We were double-handed and the engine had failed. Having had the engine fail, I'd been on the front of the boat trying to get a sail over the side of the boat and try and rescue the sail. And the owner wasn't coming forward because he had no comms, no autopilot, nothing was working. And that meant that I realized, wouldn't it be great if we had some connectivity? Because he certainly wasn't going to come and get me if it had all gone wrong, because he wouldn't have been able to turn the boat around or know where I was. So fast forward, we started to look at where is the actual issue in the energy sector. So there's a massive problem at the moment in the installation and servicing and commissioning phases of offshore wind. And that's around a number of issues. So during those stages, people are reliant on VHFs currently. And that's a real pain point because you've got safety cases that are reliant on one form of communication. Secondly, people are starting to use things like Tetra radios and using things like Starlink terminals. But the issue is, as soon as you get off the boat that you're out there doing the work on, you don't have the connections. So things like that cause a challenge. Once you've installed that turbine installation, fiber optics are known to fail. We've got state actors that are obviously happening in the east that's now started to cause issues there. And by having 5G at sea, you can sort of leverage that capability for new services, more efficient management, better asset loading, all of those really powerful bits and pieces you can go and do with your infrastructure and run it more effectively. Our solution to this is providing resilient, reliable 5G using floating platforms. So a pop-up faster, cheaper service. So that can be put up before you start the installation process, can stay out there for the entire installation, servicing and commissioning phases, and post that can continue as a resiliency piece to the fiber optic failures. It also means that when we talk about the cost of this, jack-up barges are several £100,000. When we start to go with what's the efficiency challenges here, there's a huge benefit. And that comes across that we can offer PNT across those platforms as well. So we can get those turbines heighted for the foundations a lot easier than using satellite, which is often contested and is unreliable for heighting. So I've got a track record within my team of delivery. So we started the business in August 2020. At that stage, we formed the business and we started building floating connectivity. So our first buoy, we delivered 400 for £15,000. That went in the water in 2021, and we then built a 6-meter tall platform. At that point, we were using UEs, so floating mobile phones, to collect data. Fast forward, and we're now building platforms. Our platforms are 22 meters tall, 33 tons. We have our own 5G software stack within that. We also have our own data collection platforms within that as well. So we have wind and wave and rain and sonar profiling capabilities on board that platform. What we'd like to do is an innovation pilot where we kick off, sign an agreement, and go and work out where we need it building for what particular wind farms, and look at the spectrum deployment licenses. We then want to deploy that. We want to get some donor nodes on live. We want to get all that device connectivity piece working. Go through an operational testing phase, integration of systems to try and get our networks to connect to major corporate networks there, and then have an operational not live floating testbed pilot. We'd see that as probably a 3-year program with the opportunity to extend that. This is one of our current platforms. So this is being deployed in some early stage trials. So this is one of those 22-meter tall platforms, 33 tons. And that's a shipping container on there for scale. We see the amount of opportunity here around the consenting, the biodiversity credits that are being made even more important as we start to install offshore wind farms, the inspection piece. So, for example, our networks can not only be popped up on buoys, we've been popping them on drones. So we've got a flying mobile phone network. We're actually operating in the Scottish Highlands today. So we're actually flying a mobile phone network completely. That's a private 5G network for installation and servicing and commissioning use cases there. It can also do a lot of inspection use cases. There's a lot of long-term opportunity to create more efficient energy management and using the platform to look at next day energy, all that kind of elements. To compare to other solutions, we're available before the structure is installed, before the fiber optic goes in. We can make that connection from the land to the wind farm. So not just at the wind farm, but from shore the whole way there. It's fiberless, completely off grid. It's private, secure connection, which means when a cruise ship turns up, you don't lose connectivity to Starlink. It's a long-term SLA-based system. So we're looking at trying to sign up for high availability contracts. And that's an investment we're asking for in long-term savings for comms and data. We can also enable autonomy from the start of the project through the O&M phase as well. And we have a lot of data streams available, such as bird mammal monitoring, weather conditions, etc. One of the things that's an amazing fact that we like to think about is that 55% of insurance claims in offshore wind farms we've heard of because of cable failures. That's worth an absolute fortune to the industry if we can make ourselves more resilient to those failures. In terms of finances, again, this would be dependent on where we want to deploy this. We'd look at a project that was milestone based for around 1 gigawatt of offshore wind. We'll be looking to target, preferably something that was a new project to be rolled out to provide the resilient comms and P&T over that period. We can give a full breakdown of costs on this. We've got a lot of risks that we've managed in the past, so we can do a full risk assessment as well. So we've got those in place for a lot of these use cases. In a 6-minute pitch, it's really hard to cover all that material, but please follow up with any questions. And we have a world-class team behind us that's developing this. So aside from myself and my board of governors, board of directors, sorry, we have quite a large delivery team and leadership team. We're a venture-backed business in the UK. Thank you ever so much for your time, and let me show you what we've been delivering to date.
Thank you, James. So let's open the Q&A with DSB.
Hi, James. Thank you for the pitch. Just a couple of questions here for you. So obviously, like, you're targeting offshore utilities, but who have been your main customers to date? What customer categories?
We've had a lot of customer engagement from Iberdrola. They've been one of the public supporters of what we've done to date. We've got some trials up in Scotland which are being shown to SSE and BP and Ørsted. And we're also engaging on a number of tenders at the moment for some of those larger players.
Okay, perfect. And you mentioned that, I suppose, the platform with its new features and data tracking, it's the latest iteration of your product. So in terms of like the technological readiness, is that ready for deployment, or is that something you need us to work on with you?
So as a comms platform alone, it's ready for deployment TRL 7, 8, somewhere around that piece. We'd like to trial as a system rather than trial as a single platform. So a number of buoys to build a fairly large network at scale. We would absolutely welcome the partnering approach, though, and what terms of sensors add the most value for yourselves. I don't know what data sets at sea are the most value for yourself, but we can host a lot of equipment on there.
Okay. And like, how have you proven the quality and the range, I suppose, of your product?
We've done a lot of trials with the MOD in the UK. We've also been doing some early stage trials with a wind farm in the UK. So the one that I shared on screen is going out to Llanelin Dowsing wind farm, and we're building a 5G network with the RE Catapult, which is a government state-backed innovation department.
And what would be the ideal pilot project be for you with one of the utility partners?
We'd like to be involved with someone that has an active build phase of a wind farm that wants to genuinely trial our connectivity on ships, but has also not got the most aggressive timelines, so that we can actually work together to make sure we tailor our solution to their need. Things like device management is going to be quite a challenge, so it's going to be making sure that we've got the right devices for those people going to sea, so we can use things like eSIMs rather than having to install SIM cards on 5G networks.
Okay, and have you like a main competitor in this area offering a similar kind of service, or?
To our knowledge, there's no one else that's built floating 5G mobile phone networks. We think we're absolutely world first in that. In terms of our 5G capabilities, we're also world leading in that in some of our bits of our software stack. We're primarily a software business, even though we've got a lot of large hardware that comes to the top. We're building an onion from the core out, and the inner layers are our 5G RAN technology, and the outer layers are our 5G network as a service.
Okay, and is there like a kind of a software interface that the utility would engage with then, with all the data you collect?
So there's two sides to this. The user at sea would just have an eSIM on their phone. They'd just turn on, and that means they would connect in that sense. the data feeds we're currently hosting on a dashboard. We can give access to that to the utility companies as well. But for example, one of our projects, we're collecting 500 megabytes of data per second. We've been doing that for the last 6 months. So we have more data than anyone could possibly ever need at the moment. So we'd want to make sure we tailored that to the needs rather than just gave everything straight across.
I'll open up to anyone else if they have any questions.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Connor here from ESB. Is the platform tethered to the seabed or not?
Yeah, the platform's got 3 tethers. Each of the tethers is a 3.3 ton anchor, and it also has some artificial reefs forming part of the anchor to create biodiversity when we deploy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, James. Thank you for your pitch. That was Jet Connectivity.
Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated, everyone.
So Diana and Francisco will welcome you back on the other room and give you some instructions on the timeline and when you can expect to hear from us.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, James. Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, so 12 minutes for you now to do your scores. And then we have the final 4 startups of today.
Dá as boas-vindas à primavera com um novo olhar. Vem aos Spring Days da Mais Ótica. Só esta semana tens todos os óculos graduados e todos os óculos de sol a metade do preço. Todos com menos 50%. Mais
Casio, playing on my heart just like a Casio. Breaking it apart so you can let it go. Wait another year, that's not original. I'm cynical, alright, let's go now. When all your dreams are gone and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. I know, you know the song. Play it cool. I just want the keys back to my vehicle. They're just gonna tell you that I wasn't you. And I just wanna tell you this is how I feel. I know you feel it too. When all your dreams are gone and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. So I know, you know the song. Casio, playing on my heart just past so you can let it go. We another year that's now original. Cynical, alright, let's go now. When all your dreams are gone, and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. I know, you know, it's over. When all your dreams are gone, and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. I know, you know, it's over. Don't think that my love is gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love is gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love is gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love is gone. It's all up in your head now. When all your dreams are gone, and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. I know, you know, it's over. When all your dreams are gone, and you're still holding on, you waited for too long. I know, you know, it's over. Don't think that my love's gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love's gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love's gone. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that my love's gone. It's all up in your head now.
Okay, guys, let's please find our seats. We have 2 minutes until the next startup joins. Shall we find? Okay. Yeah. So we have Christine waiting for us. Please find your seats.
Ready? Okay.
Okay. Last 4 startups of the day. Yeah? Nearly there. So, João, whenever Christine is ready, we can welcome Synergy Innovations. Hi, Christine.
Yes.
Hi Maria, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I think I'm good.
Long day. Has it been a long day?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock here in Ireland, so we're nearing the end of our day. I'm not you guys are an hour ahead, an hour behind.
Yes, we're in Lisbon, near Lisbon.
You're definitely at the end of your day.
So we're ready to listen to you. As you can see, we have a full table, a lot of people joining online as well. Very curious about Synergy Innovation Solutions. So whenever you're ready, you can please share your screen.
And
good luck, Christine.
thank you. Everyone see that okay?
Yes.
Yep. Let's make this smaller. Okay, everyone, my name is Christine Boyle. I'm the CEO of Synergy. And Synergy are bringing to market building integrated solar hot water panels to deliver solar heating and cooling at a price that will finally compete with gas and oil. So 78% of the energy we use in our homes and buildings goes to space and hot water heating. Solar thermal heating is really efficient technology. It produces 3 to 4 times more power per square meter than solar PV does. It's easily generated on-site, off-grid, reducing the need for expensive infrastructure. And water is the most efficient and least capital-intensive mediums for energy storage. But current solar thermal panels are still made of copper and aluminium, extremely carbon intensive with high manufacturing and installation costs. And mass adoption has also been held back by poor aesthetics and the lack of easy integration with the building. And what we have found out is that current users of solar thermal very often don't even understand the benefits of the technology that they're getting. So Synergy brought together a stalwart team and advisory board combining relevant technical and commercial experience to innovate in this sector. We've developed and patented highly thermally conductive polymer materials, and these materials give the architect much more flexibility with design. And the Synergy panels are digitally enabled to connect into the smart building, driving performance efficiency. Combining these innovative steps allows Synergy panels to deliver solar hot water and heating at a price that will finally compete with gas and oil. The panels can be wholly or partially integrated into the building, functioning as part of the roofing or cladding, and they're suitable for installation on residential, commercial, and industrial buildings, both new build and retrofit. The Synergy panels use 25% less carbon in manufacture and installation than current solar thermal panels, and they reduce the cost of delivering a kilowatt of solar heat by 30% to a price point that will be cost competitive with gas and oil. And whilst easily integrated into the building envelope, the Senergy panels can also be easily integrated with heat pumps, heat networks, and district heating to bring all year round affordable hot water and heating. And this is where we win. All of the cost reductions and efficiency improvements allow Senergy panels to deliver the lowest cost, lowest carbon heating. And these figures have not taken into consideration any government incentives or future carbon taxes, which could provide even further cost advantage. So we've secured our manufacturing supply chain in Europe, and we're currently delivering panels to our first customer segment, which is off-site manufactured modular homes. 15,000 of these homes are manufactured in the UK every year, with a 30 million spend on their roofs. So we're ready for pilot projects. And we're targeting customers in other sectors as well. So for our early UK customers, we're delivering a return on investment in less than 2.5 years, and this excludes any green grant schemes. The Carbon Trust are supporting us in demonstrating the new economic case for utilising Senergy solar thermal, so we can validate the benefits of our technology. And we're also working with Salford University in conjunction with Bellway Homes. And this is very much around integrating the panels into the building envelope, but also integrating digitally. And the problem and pain that Bellway have at the minute is that the Future Homes regulation is coming out. And they don't have any more space for extra PV to feed into hot water tanks, to feed into EVs, and to feed into heat pumps. So they're now finding that actually solar thermal being very efficient, needing less roof space, with a next generation product that would not interfere with them building beautiful homes, that our technology would be really beneficial for them to meet their regulations, but also give customers an easy user-friendly technology that they can understand. The other thing that we're discovering is the benefit of solar thermal, or Senergy solar thermal, taking a lot of the pressure off the grid. Again, as we explained, EVs, electric vehicles, heat pumps are putting pressure on the grid, and solar thermal has a real opportunity to take that off the grid and store solar energy in the ground and use with heat pumps for all-round integration. We have a project with a university in Brooklyn and First Aid Ventures in New York, same problems as we have here in the UK, and we're pushing that pilot project out now at the minute, and we're hoping to get the panels on roofs come June, July of this year. And our Senergy proposal for this programme is to utilise Senergy thermal panels in combination with other technologies that the utilities are involved with. So utilising solar hot water with air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps, and with or without seasonal storage, to really show the benefits of the technology in heat networks and district heating. Solar thermal is a proven technology. I don't need to tell you how efficient it is. We have validation from the Energy Systems Catapult and from TUV, that shows our panels perform exactly the same as current metallic panels do. And so we also have our enabled hardware-enabled digital software, which really makes the user understand the benefits that they're getting and make easy decisions to install and use the technology and optimize the technology for customers on the ground. We propose a 12-month project so that we can get a full seasonal output. We'll supply the innovative Senergy panels, and we estimate that the payback in those projects would be 2 to 3 years. And we want to see how a pilot would really prove that 30% cost reduction that Senergy can deliver. Thank you for listening, and I welcome your questions and feedback.
Thank you, Christine. So let's now open for Q&A.
Hi, Christine. Thank you for a great presentation. It's Saoirse here from the ESB. I suppose my first question would be, why would people buy from yourselves instead of large OEM suppliers like Kingspan, etc.?
The benefits and the innovation that we're bringing to the table. So we've really decided, my background is from roofing. I saw the obvious integration with PV and roofing, and I now see there's an obvious integration with solar and roofing. We have innovative technology that is protected with patents. We have a digital platform that will keep us ahead in terms of the data that we're bringing and optimizing and managing a solar hot water network. And so we think that we're bringing a lot more to the table than previous solar thermal technology that's on the table. We have talked to Green One Tech. They're very interested in our product. We do plan to get them to manufacture our OEM product because it's an easy way to market, and they've good customers in that space. But we also want to bring an innovative product that's really game changing and will really have impact on people on the ground that to make heating and hot water affordable for customers.
Brilliant, thank you. I suppose what would a partnership, this is a partnership and collaboration program, what would a partnership look like with a utility? And I suppose what do you need from the utilities here in the room?
The key for us is that solar thermal was very much a door-to-door sale previously. It was very, the cost of customer acquisition within the business model was very heavy. In fact, it was around 30 to 40% of a solar thermal project was taken up in actually acquiring that customer in the first place. We have an opportunity for data to really blow that business model out of the market. We have an opportunity to bring in a heating as a service business model. If we can understand the monetization of a kilowatt of hot water into the heat network, if we can understand the bankability and the value of that, if we can allow the customers on the ground to understand how to utilize and optimize and understand the system, then we have an opportunity to work with utilities to really allow solar thermal to play a synergistic part in next generation heating and hot water.
Have you a large stock of your panels at the moment, or how long would it take to produce those if we were to order some?
So we are currently doing an order with Green One Tech with our OEM panels. We're currently coming off the plant with our polymer panels from Janssen in Switzerland, and we have pilot projects, as I say, in the UK and in America. We see that as a huge market for us, and NYSERDA, the New York State Energy Department, have really helped us and supported us there. And so, yeah, those partnerships are key in terms of getting us a large sales pipeline. Door-to-door sales will not allow Synergy to survive.
Obviously, we're based in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Have you installed any of these in the Republic? And also just another question from Matthew in our supply business. He's wondering if you have any examples of them being used in swimming pools or leisure centres.
We haven't done any in the Republic of Ireland. That's definitely on our cards because it's a close market for us and it makes sense. We have spoken to some of the large PV manufacturers there, some who had been involved with solar thermal before and want to see it resurrected and see the value of the technology. So we're looking to make contact with them and get a pilot project in the south of Ireland. Yeah, we've spoken to Belfast City Council. They're very keen on their leisure centres and swimming pools. That's one of our most apt markets at the minute. Large demand for hot water and a very easy win-win for us in early stage. Yeah.
Thank you. That's everything from me. If there's any other questions?
In terms of product specification, your product, what are the temperature range for installation and operation of your PV panel?
So the panel temperature range is exactly the same as current metallic panels. The polymer, in terms of stagnation, we tend to use a simple drain back system, and the digital technology operates that and allows that to happen very efficiently. It's very easy to understand. It's less pressurized. It's more hassle free. And we plan to go down that route. So yeah, in terms of we can't go up to temperatures over 180 degrees, but for the sectors that we're servicing, we don't need to go up to those temperatures.
Okay, maybe two quick ones. Sylvain from Hydro-Quebec. I may have missed how does it work? So the water flows through the pellets, or and second question is, will the pellets degrade over time?
So what we do is we take a base polymer, we add nanomaterials to that base polymer with a compounder, and that's our patented IP materials. We then give those materials to our manufacturer, and they manufacture the panels in a design that we have optimized. And then we have an integrated design into the roof system that we've patents out on at the minute, where it goes right into the roof system. So we start with the polymer, we end up with a product. I hope I answered your question correctly there.
Yeah, you did. Thanks.
Any final question? Very good. Thank you, Christine. Thank you for joining us. If you join Diana in the other room, she'll give you some instructions on next steps. And a big round of applause for Diana.
Thank you so much, everyone. Speak soon, Maria. Thank you.
Cheers. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Next, we'll have Christopher from Advanced Infrastructure. Hi, Christopher. How's the day going? Can you listen to us?
We can't seem to hear you, Christopher. No, we can't hear you. You're not muted though, so it's something with the microphone itself. Sorry about that. He was just fine in the other room. So
apologies.
I'm apologizing for the technical issues, but Christopher was just fine in the other room, so trying to work it out, see what's wrong.
Did he jump out of the call?
No, he's still here. He's still here, but we can't hear him. Let me try. Wait, now I think he disconnected. Let's see. Just a second. Okay, Maria, we're bringing him back in to see if it's fixed.
Hi guys.
There it is. Okay.
That's better. I can hear you now. Okay, shall I get started?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. So hello, my name is Christopher Jackson. I am CEO of Advanced Infrastructure. We are a software company that builds online self-service connection tools for electricity network operators that manage the connection of new assets to the electricity network. Our software improves the customer experience of connection requests and helps network operators manage millions of new connections. And it helps network operators have better visibility of future customer load to support long-term strategic investment in network reinforcement and flexibility. You could say that we are the SimCity for electricity connections. And the problem that we're solving is that customers obtain new connections to the electricity networks through a connections process, just like heat pumps in this photo or new electric vehicle charge points. The connection process is subject to several metrics set by regulators, and 80% of network operators fail to achieve these metrics and suffer financial penalties, resulting in lost revenue. The average network operator receives over 200,000 new connection requests per year, of which over 30% are abandoned due to cost after the network operator has expended engineering effort in designing and costing a quotation for a customer connection. And over 60% of new connections for technologies such as EV chargers and heat pumps are unreported, resulting in transformer overloading and higher asset maintenance costs incurred by network operators because of poor forecasting of customer demand. So the solution is our software tool, Leap Plus. And Leap Plus is a software tool that automates the connection process and provides a self-service portal in which the customer can design their own connection. Leap Plus has 3 unique value propositions. Firstly, it allows customers to understand how their demand and generation requirements affect the connection cost and allows the customer to consider different options without applying for multiple quotes, reducing customer demand and constraints on network assets. Secondly, it empowers customers with visibility of existing assets in the locality and with information, allowing them to make informed decisions on the most economical location to connect. And thirdly, it provides automated and immediate budgetary quotes for connections, allowing customers to assess whether they wish to progress to a formal quotation, reducing the cost of customer service resources. Our solution is market leading and award winning. Leap Plus is used by 3 out of 6 UK distribution network operators to reduce the cost of customer engagement and to improve the accuracy of their strategic demand forecasting. Our client, UK Power Networks, expects Leap Plus to save them over £13 million over 5 years through reduced cost to serve their customers and better strategic planning decision making. UK Power Networks has also just won an international award from the International Energy Association that recognises the quality of their local energy system engagement using our Leap Plus tool. We're a team of over 30 data scientists and software engineers founded in 2020. Our unique multidisciplinary background helps us build collaborative tools that add value to both network operators and their customers. Our best work comes from collaboration with our customers and our users, and we build things quickly, break things even faster, and aim to develop the world's leading network planning tools. What would a 6-month pilot look like? Our goal is to launch a pilot version of Leap Plus in the corporate sponsors territory in a 6-month trial with a €50,000 budget to evidence the critical success factors and our pilot hypothesis. The year 1 costs will be between €150,000 to €200,000, but with annual benefits of between €2 to €3 million, evidence from the previous trials that we've evidenced in the UK. The project will be divided into 3 main work packages addressing the 3 core hypotheses. The critical success factors will be demonstrating how Leap Plus, firstly, improves customer experience in the connection process, secondly, reduces business costs of network operators responding to these requests, and thirdly, improves demand forecasting through better visibility of future connections. And our pilot hypotheses are that Leap Plus's digital workflows are transferable across territories, that Leap Plus digital models or data models for electricity and urban spaces are transferable across territories, and that our product roadmap addresses the corporate sponsors of regulatory and business drivers. And just to illustrate this, on the right-hand side, we have a typical tech stack of a network operator highlighting the different enterprise solutions that they have in place. And our philosophy is always to integrate with whatever is the incumbent tech stack of the network operator with which we work. And ending there, thanks very much, and I give the floor back to the chairperson for questions.
Thank you very much, Christopher. So let's open for Q&A. Yes, Bea?
Hi, Christopher. Thank you very much for the presentation. This is Saoirse from ESB. I know this is a major issue for ESB and our business units were really interested. You mentioned there at the end about integrating with the utility systems. I suppose, honestly, how easy is that? And is the timeline for that, how long does that typically take, or what was your experience in past pilots?
So the enterprise systems generally are reasonably common between network operators. What the challenge is the data quality upon which we need to do our modeling. So we have a lot of experience in improving the data quality, but also managing poor data quality and inferring decisions from that. So it doesn't slow the project down, but it affects the accuracy of the outputs. But we have methods in place to incrementally improve that from an MVP, which we can deliver in 6 months and provide immediate value at particular voltage levels to particular customer groups as we then build out the rest of the solution.
And I suppose, were there any other challenges, if you were to name kind of the top 3 challenges you had in the past pilots with the UK utilities that you've done?
Challenges, first one is data quality, and then second is different priorities between the network operators and managing those in the roadmap. And thirdly, not so much with this project, but certain GDPR issues means that we have to handle customer data especially carefully in specific ways. So those 3 issues: data, roadmap, and GDPR.
In terms of training utility staff, how long does that typically take to get someone up to speed on the software?
Very quickly. We operate a customer success model, not a customer support model. So it means we proactively reach out to the enterprise users, and we have training sessions. We have an in-app chat tool, a pop-up tool where you can ask questions and engage with one of our trainers in business hours to improve the engagement with the tool and the speed of onboarding. It's pretty intuitive and not like the complicated tools that you've been used to, like Power Factory, for example, which take a much longer time to train on.
This is a global program at ESB, we're your neighbours, but I suppose, is there any limitations in terms of geographies, or are you targeting any particular markets for your expansion?
Obviously, the EU incorporating Ireland and the US are both the closest and the largest markets, but this is a common problem globally. So other partners in this program, such as CLP and Origin in Asia and Australasia, have similar issues, similar tech stacks, and I think the solution is eminently deployable globally.
Thank you. That's everything for me. Any other questions?
Question here from Connor from ESB. Just one of our networks guys has asked a question on the chat there. Has the product been implemented to offer self-service connection assessments for MV customers for any of the UK DNOs?
MV, you mean medium voltage?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the process of trials with 3 DNOs, yes.
Okay, but okay, so you are offering self-service connection assessment for MV customers, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
No other questions? Thank you, Christopher. Big round of applause.
Pleasure. Thank you guys for the extra time and the technical difficulties at the beginning. Look forward to working with you. Take care.
Congratulations on making it to the top 60, and we'll be in touch. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can click at the bottom right corner. Yep, there you go.
Okay. Up next, we have Manuele from FlexiGrid.
He's still entering, Maria, just.
No worries.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Manuele. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Hope the same.
You're here with Carolus?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, Carolus. Congratulations both for making it to the top 60 of free electrons.
Thank you very much. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see?
Whenever you're ready. Yeah, we are seeing the footnotes.
Oh, 1 second.
Perhaps
There
you
we-
need to do advanced screen sharing.
Well, it should be full screen now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
You're ready?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Start.
Hi, everybody. I am Manuele Monti, and I'm the CEO and founder of FlexiGrid, the energy and flexibility management for the decentralized green energy transition. Hopefully, it will go to the next slide. So I would like to start with the main problem of the green transition. 30 billion euros per year. That's the EU cost of renewable due to the intermittence of renewable sources that is paid by final bill payers in Europe only. And if we consider that Repower Europe is targeting renewables to 45% share and is increasing the solar capacity to 600 gigs, we can understand how rebalancing the grid is probably one of the biggest challenges in the green transition. The good news is that while in the past the energy system were centralized and today are becoming more digitized and smart, in our vision, the energy system is becoming more smart, decentralized, and self-balancing in the future. Means that all the prosumers like transportation, smart homes, smart industry can take an active role in rebalancing the grid and making the most out of their renewable and flexible assets. That's why we want to take this challenge with FlexiGrid, and we are creating the energy management platform to obtain the maximum economic incentives for renewable and flexible assets, to extract the maximum value from renewable energy communities, local flexibility markets, and all the decentralized markets to come. I am a serial entrepreneur and now venture builder with more than 15 years experience in the energy management and trading sector, up to the highest charges of head of derivatives in ENGIE, chief trading officer and chief risk officer in Europe and Middle East. Every day I have the pleasure to work with the brightest mind in the energy and deep tech innovation. We have a bright team of 1 MBA, 3 PhDs from top institutions like Cambridge and MIT, and aggregate 60 years experience in multinational energy companies and 40 years in deep tech, innovation management, and energy management. How we do the magic? We create this holistic solution for the centralized transition that is based on different exponential technologies. It looks complex, but we'll make it easy. An IoT customized monitoring platform allows to get all the information for loads, consumption, and production for a wide number of smart devices, smart meters, and electric infrastructure. An artificial intelligence platform analyzes those loads and suggests to optimize via smart remote controlling all the energy transactions that can rebalance the local energy market network. All these transactions are then recorded on a hybrid high-performance DLT technology based on our proprietary blockchain that we developed through an acceleration program, BlockIS, and that notarize every 15 minutes the transaction, allows to notarize and monetize all the incentives from the new decentralized energy markets. This platform is made to be interactive with energy managers, aggregators, and DSOs. Complex behind, but very easy to be managed by energy managers and local energy market administrators. It allows a powerful and user-friendly local management system of regs and flexibilities. In particular, we allow the real-time energy monitoring of all the resources. We forecast in real time with high precision all the loads for production and consumption, and we optimize those loads for batteries, electric vehicles, including flexibilities, but also load shift for arranging the best use of flexible resources. And then we also have a section for monetizing incentives from renewable energy markets, local flexibility markets, and all the new markets to come. We rely on the typical B2B business model, where our main incentives and rewards are given from license fee for the platform. We also monetize big data and analytics, but especially we run an energy management optimization scheme where our clients save, we gain. We already started a collaboration with energy managers, traders, energy-intensive industry. We signed 9 LOIs, and especially one joint development agreement with Italian DSO Areti. We are proud to tell that we are part of the Rome Flex project of Areti, which is a flexibility experimental project in Rome, where we have been recently onboarded as balancing service provider from the Italian power exchange GME, Gestore del Mercato Energetico. Within this infrastructure, we already are interoperable, and we can manage all the flexible resource, talking to the balancing service platform, the market platform. We can participate to forward and spot auction, and we already are analyzing all the power exchange incentives mechanism to reward all the flexible resource that we bring to the project. The next step will be moving from the local flexibility market of Rome towards the Be Flexible project, which is the pan-European expansion of the Rome Flex project, with 12 pilots in 4 countries and 3 different demo structures for more than 10 million investment over the next 3 years. In particular, we will be engaged in the Demo 1 Southern Europe, where we will be talking in cross-sectional project for water, electric vehicles, residential and industrial customers. So we are ready to take the challenge with most of the free electron corporates. We are ready to understand how they want to get the most out of these challenges that will bring to 400 gigawatt of flexible capacity by 2040, and will help to save more than 600 billion saving in network upgrades. Everything that is related to the project that we have mentioned, we are ready to discuss with you to find the best pilots.
Thank you, Manuel.
Okay, I think I'm in time. Just wanted to show all the results that we managed so far we get so far, and we are ready to take any potential question from you. Thank you.
So let's hand over the word to EDP.
So thank you, Manuel, for the presentation. Some questions on our end. This is Andre from EDP.
Yes.
Currently, or at least what do you expect to be your main customers? Is it the energy aggregators, the DSOs, the energy communities? Who's your main customer?
Yeah. As we run an energy management as a service platform, any type of administrator of new decentralized market can be the right customer. Of course, now we are relying more on large corporations that are willing to test our platform and, of course, decide with us what's the best business model. But we are also going towards all the local energy market players. So all the companies, resellers that are basically building projects for renewable energy communities and flexibility. We want to bring the best outcome from renewable energy communities and flexibility. So we look at the energy communities like a sort of virtual power plant where we can optimize all the incentives. So any player that looks at this type of management can, of course, benefit from our platform.
Okay. How do you manage or plan to manage the activation of the flexibility or the visibility that flexibility was activated?
Can you help me out again? Can you define better? Sorry.
One of the challenges that we have is that if you have a list of FSPs, flexibility service providers, and you ask them to activate flexibility, then you need to actually know if they activated it or not.
Yes.
So within your platform, can you have visibility if they have activated the services that you requested?
Yeah, we are developing the schedule availability window, and that's part of the RoamFlex project itself, because we need to communicate to the balancing service provider platform all the window of availability. And when they will send all the notification for request of flexibility, they must be complying with the flexibility windows that the owner of the resource has made available. So that's part of the project, yes.
Okay. I understood that this is mostly software, so you don't have any hardware to acquire the data, right? This is mostly software through, I don't know, some sort of APIs to gather data.
Exactly. We don't want to get into the hardware business. It's very capital intensive. What we are aiming to do is to create the biggest API platform to be fully interoperable, certified, and API ready to any sort of smart device, smart appliance, inverter, and so on. So, I mean, on the technical side, maybe Kiro can answer better than myself, but we don't have an interest to have our own proprietary software, proprietary hardware. We want to integrate as a full open API with all the infrastructure. And in particular, for the flexibility, for the project RoamFlex, which is the state of the art of flexibility experimental projects in Europe, Areti will give us the Pigui, which is the technical device that can record all the transaction every 50 minutes. Am I correct, Kiro?
Yeah, you are correct. So at the moment, it is required by DSOs to have their own devices, so their own IoT device to be installed to make sure that the user have actually done or provided his flexibility. So we are not providing hardware, but we are connecting to their hardware. But in case of if there other DSOs open the market to use any kind of hardware, we can actually use some commercial hardware that we have tested.
Okay. Final question on my end. What would be the ideal pilot setup for you?
You mean set up for a potential pilot?
Yes.
Well, we are ready. Basically, we can try to optimize with you any sort of flexible resource. So anything that is related to battery storage optimization, smart charging, vehicle to home, vehicle to grid, it's in our scope. If I had to make a wish, of course, I would like to set up some sort of energy communities with at least one big energy prosumer, like an industry. And some mobility. That would be the best setup for us. But even any of this flexibility alone can be embedded in a local energy market project, and we can manage it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just a quick one. I spotted the E.ON logo on your deck. Just wondering with which unit you work with, because E.ON is a huge corporate, so it's probably just not a way in our innovation team.
You mean in the business slide, this one?
Yeah, right.
This one?
No, the one before.
Two down.
Down?
No, it's
Sorry.
This
one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, this is the whole set of corporates and partners of Be Flexible, and in particular, we are in the Areti project. So Areti is the one. With the RSC.
Good. Thank you. You know what you're doing, Sonia? Yeah.
Manuel, thank you very much. Big round of applause for one last.
Yeah. In terms of pilot, what's the effort to customize your product to local regulations? Is it from your part, or you expect that the utility bring all the regulation in your modeling?
That's a very nice question. Of course, we know that every country has got its own regulation and constraints. From the go-to-market approach, we are now focusing on Italy and Austria and potentially Spain. So any POC will help us to reduce the cost. We are also running a seed round. So I think this is in the scope for our expansion. In case we are looking at countries that are not in our development roadmap, we are ready to take some part of the risk for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're ready to say goodbye. Thank you very much, Manuel.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to meet you again. Bye.
So Diana will be in the other room giving you instructions and letting you know when you can expect to hear back from us. Thank you both and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Phil.
Cheers, bye.
Bye, Mel.
Well, so you'll be up on the online. No idea what's going on.
What are you paying now? Okay.
It's what you know. Take money.
Last start for today? Yeah? Yeah. Let's welcome Pratik from Connect X. Hi Pratik. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're here with Soma, I see?
Yeah. Hi.
Awesome. How are you doing? So congratulations on making it this far. We're quite excited to listen to your pitch. As you can see, we have a full room here of utility partners, very eager to learn more about ConnectX's solution.
Sure.
So whenever you're ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay, we can see your screen now. Good luck.
Great. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. My name is Pratik Ghoshal, founder and CEO of ConnectX. With me, Shoma, who is the CPO and co-founder. Power grids are failing fast, leading to widespread blackouts and outages, losing billions of dollars in infrastructure and human life losses. Last month, over 200,000 people were without power in California, while the electricity prices kept soaring. That's because rapid electrification is driving up electricity demand, not since the air conditioning time. Power usage has become very unpredictable. We are working more from home. We're charging EVs at night. Climate change is making things even more vulnerable. Unplanned renewable energy development is causing further instability. Grids are antiquated. Many are over 50 years old. They are not prepared to take the stress. Utilities, grid operators, retailers like yourselves, spending billions of dollars in operating costs and decarbonization in vain. The old school systems cannot handle the situations anymore. Worried consumers like homes and businesses are investing billions of dollars in their own energy devices, such as rooftop solar and batteries, leading to further loss for consumer trust and business viabilities for the utilities. Utilities across the globe are rethinking this paradigm shift and trying to prepare. We noticed a common theme in your pitch decks across all the utilities that reinforces that we need a more reliable, scalable, smarter, and distributed grid now, which can be future-proof with intelligent cloud technologies. So the utilities can seamlessly collaborate with the consumers and utilize their energy devices than investing billions of dollars in new power plant build-up or slow grid upgrade. ConnectX proposes to enable implementation of Internet of Energy, a reliable, smarter, scalable, and distributed grid by connecting these distributed energy devices or DERs in a network and manage and operate these networks with smart automation and control. ConnectX introduces Control OS, its proprietary hardware and OEM independent operating technology that automates planning, connection, implementation, coordination, and operation of these DERs, that balances power supply and demand in real time, fully autonomously, increasing grid reliability and resiliency, allowing rapid electrification, keeping the cost low, and reducing carbon footprint, while allowing your consumers to generate income by selling extra power or managing energy usage. We are enterprise software as a service company. Think of us as the Microsoft for smart grid. We're 100% device independent. Our innovation lies in our product architecture, edge, and AI algorithms, and our IPs are firmware and cloud software run with artificial intelligence. It's easier and faster now to connect a home or a business to smart grid with just a few easy to do-it-yourself steps, no engineer required, allowed unprecedented speed and scalability. Any home and business site can just use PC, Mac, or a smart TV, or any single board computer, and install our firmware and get connected to the smart grid. We are 100% OEM agnostic for the very first time in the industry. and the only no-touch operating system that can act on inside and automates energy flows. It's 3x more scalable, 20x faster to implement, responds in milliseconds, hence suitable for smart grid, can predict power flow 70% more accurately. It's fail-safe natural air gap, protects from cyber threats at all times, and it can operate offline during outages. Our partnership with NATE provides a state-of-the-art grid innovation laboratory. Our customers are utilities, grid operators, and energy traders like yourself, who can reduce peak power demand, supply backup power to the grid, and retire for peaker power plants reliably and permanently. We can save 30 to 40% in their operating expenses, and their consumers can generate 25 to 55% in net dollar value. Our consumers pay a very small flat transaction fee, and we expect to generate about 24 million metric tons of CO2 savings per year with 1 million connected consumers by 2030. Our team comes with 70 years experience in grid management, renewable energy software development, asset management. Founders are serial climate tech entrepreneurs who built and scaled SaaS companies, experience in power electronics, edge computing, control system, data science, AI, and IoT. We propose to implement the connected Internet of Energy for the very first time in the industry to demonstrate that VPPs can be implemented phenomenally faster, cheaper, and easier, and operated autonomously in real time. And this is a proposal on the screen. We'll allow you some time to read it, and we are open for questions. Thank you very much for your time.
Pratik. So, Hydro-Quebec?
Yeah. Hello, I think it's Sylvain from Hydro-Quebec. So very nice pitch. Thank you very much. Very clear. Couple of questions on our side. How is the control ED connected to each DER over the customer's location? Is it, through the local network, the Wi-Fi?
Yes, it is the Wi-Fi, the local network, yeah.
Sorry, Shoma, you could speak louder maybe?
Each DERs, they will have interfaces of, typically Modbus or CAN or actually any such interfaces. So we convert that into Wi-Fi and then connect it to the router, which in turn connects to the control ED.
Okay, through the router. And is the control connected to the VPP customer's internet? Okay, so it's through internet then, through the router, the Wi-Fi. Can the utility have visibility over each DER? And what kind of visibility can utility have access to?
Yeah, I'm just quickly browsing through the screen so that you can see what the screens are like. So these are our platform screens. So you can see a VPP dashboard. And in that, there is a real-time optimization at site, which is basically VPPs or the utilities through their VPP looking into each site and have visibility on an individual DER. These are automated, fully automated, but the utilities can override the operations in an agreement with the individual DER consumers, if that makes sense.
Yep, okay. And the last one on my side, what kind of grid services or grid functions are planned in your system or future evolution maybe?
Now, that's a great question. So I'll quickly go back to one of the slides, so if that makes sense. Yeah, so we think of us as the superset of DERMS. So everything that a DERMS system provides, all the grid services, but maybe more focused on individual DER management, we do all of it. But we are also extending that. So other than dynamic demand response, frequency management, frequency control, voltage control, multiple other ancillary grid services, we are also setting up to allow or help the utilities to implement more TOUs, time of use, wherever it's not there, or even at a dynamic pace can manipulate these TOUs as the markets demand. So this TOU management or TOU planning and implementation hasn't been thought of in the past from a DERMS perspective. So we came up with the ConnectX's idea, and that can dictate future electricity system design and implementation, including all the ancillary services and power supplies. If that makes sense.
Thank you. So, one more on our side.
Yes, could you elaborate on your controller? Well, you pretend that the smart meter will be obsolete with your controller. So I want to hear your argument on making the smart meter obsolete.
So that's a great question. I'll let Soma come in, and I can also pitch in. Soma, did you hear the question?
Yes, actually, how does this controller, how can it really make the smart meter obsolete? So the idea here is, so once actually our controller is functioning there, then it has got actually access to every single DER, and actually we are monitoring it at it's second wise. Actually the data is getting connected, it pushed to the cloud, so we are having more functions than the smart meters. Also, there are things when, for example, the control ED is disconnected from the internet. So even then, there is this functionality built into our device, which will form a local network, and through which actually we will monitor and control. So we would say that the smart meter having very limited functionality, this would definitely can overtake that. Pratik, you can add actually if there's anything.
No, I think you added it all. I mean, one other thing that has to be added is smart meters are typically placed outside. This is a physical device, and it needs maintenance on the longer period. Ours is completely software controlled, so which makes it more seamless, updates more easier, and also much, much cheaper to really roll out at a speed that probably utilities haven't seen before. And smart meters, I mean, two types of smart meters, the interval meters and the bidirectional meters. They're mostly information only with very limited capability of control, but we have revolutionized that with multi-layer controls and also the off-grid management. So this is the really next generation of smart meters, which doesn't require a physical device to be introduced in homes and businesses.
Thank you, Patrick and Soma. We have one last question. We're good. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for Connect.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care.
Last startup of today. So if you can join now, Diana in the other room, she'll give you some instructions on next steps and the timeline on when you can expect to listen from us. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure to see you. Cheers. Bye. Okay, and on our ends, so 10 minutes for scoring, and then we'll do the final debrief of the day. Feeling good? Just a tiny bit longer, Sachin. Very great.